Okay, so I don't like Wicked. I went to see Wicked, and I don't like it. That's just all there is to it. It has many problems to it.
And I'm sure you can tell me some of those.
So, okay, so here's the deal. Like, first of all, I don't think it's musically sound. That's a problem. Right? I mean, Stephen Schwartz likes his big, sweeping pop melodies and his easy, tight harmonies, and everybody's shouting the whole time.
Yeah, his shout harmonies is what I call them. It's like 9th grade men's choir harmonies.
9th grade men's choir harmonies, exactly. So that's basically what I hear, and it's just... Basically, the problem is that it is a shaky plot based on, it's completely derivative, obviously, because it is based on Wizard of Oz. So it's always going to be... What?
I didn't know it was a take on the Wizard of Oz.
All right, you're just trolling now.
Is it like one of those dark comic book origin stories that all these movies are so good with now?
It's exactly that, right? It's exactly that, except worse. Because it's not, first of all, it's not good. Now, okay, so here we go. We start off this show with, like, everyone running on stage and shouting, like, she's dead! OMG, she's dead! She was wicked! She's the wickedest witch that ever was. The enemy of all of us here in Oz, because was and Oz rhyme. We're already in trouble.
Yikes. That's a bad start.
Yeah, it's a poor start, and it doesn't get any better from there.
Wait. You're saying it really melts down?
Wow. Right, so, Glinda comes in, and she's on her freaking bubble thing, which is kind of cool. It's a little stagecrafty, bubbly thing that flies down, and it's like, oh, by the way, this is how we portray the fact that this is not in Oz, or this is not in our world, because she is saying words funny, right? Like, yeah. She says rejoicify, which is the only reason that she says rejoicify is that Schwartz wrote doo-doo-doo and needed to justify that with lyrics, and so decided to have her say rejoicify, and that's like, okay, whatever. She says rejoicify, and that means that she's quirky and weird, and the Oz people say funny words and stuff. And then it just banks on that sort of humor, if we may call it humor. It banks on that type of humor the entire freaking show. So, like, the whole time they're just saying weird things, and that's the comedy, folks. That's as high as it gets.
Right? Are there really no good jokes?
No! There aren't good jokes. All the jokes are... lol, this is Wizard of Oz. Do you get it? They say stupid lyrics. Well, okay, for somebody who is ostensibly a lyricist, as Stephen Schwartz is, he's terrible at writing lyrics, right? Okay, here we go. The good men scorn the wicked. Through their lives, our children learn what they miss when they misbehave. First of all, we have used the word miss twice in one phrase, like not even in one sentence. I mean, it is in one sentence. What they miss when we misbehave. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't...
Well, could be saying, like, they'll miss out on sweets and candy and stuff if they're bad.
I think that is not what they're talking about, right? They're not talking about what that sweets and candy and shit.
Okay, so Witch just died, right? Because, like, Dorothy lands on her or whatever. So
no, that's the other witch, dude.
Oh, different witch. Oh,
this is the one that she melts.
Oh, right. Okay, so then maybe they're saying that what you'll miss is your life, because if you're bad, then you'll just die. Like if you steal a cookie, then your parents will kill you.
You're trying to justify this.
Well, I'm just trying to play the Wicked Witch advocate here, because like maybe what they're saying is, like, if you're a bad child, then your parents will kill you and you'll miss out on life like this witch did.
Okay, but here's the problem, is there's that same lack of subtlety that you see throughout the entire show. First of all, it spends its entire time winking at you saying, hey guys, this is Wizard of Oz.
Okay,
like, if I had to tally the number of times the freaking Scarecrow dude said something to the extent of, OMG, I have no brain, or I don't care, or I'm brainless, or I'm, you know, like, I don't have a brain, or something like that. Anything about brains or birds, I'd have a lot of tally marks. I'd look like freaking the doctor after seeing The Silence.
Well, there's another, like, wink, you know, what's another wink that you found, you know, because you said winking the whole time at you to say, hey, it's Wizard of Oz, look how clever we are.
They're trying to set up one of the characters as actually starting the twister that kills the Wicked Witch of the East by, like, one time referencing, like, my specialty is weather. And you're sitting there like, well, I hope that doesn't come into play later. And it turns out it does. Like Kronk saying, that better not come back to haunt me. Here's the next thing that happens. Like, so they go to this school, and the entire, oh my god, I'm on fire again!
That seems to keep happening to you.
All right, so they go to this school that is called Shiz for some reason, and they have a kind of okay song, like where they sing the alma mater of it, and then they have to like point out that it's a goofy sounding name by holding out the Z on Shiz, because this is the kind of comedy that the kids are here to see, and it's awful.
It's named Shiz? Is there like a reason that it's named? That sounds like a shiv, like in prison. That makes me think of prison.
And they might have them, and gosh, and I don't know. And then they're gonna put on a John Hughes movie, only with slightly better music that'll probably stand the test of time a little bit longer than, you know, like any John Hughes movie. And it's like, here we are, we've got the good girl who doesn't care about anything but herself, and we've got the nerdy girl who everybody hates but is kind of stuck up and self-absorbed on the fact that everybody's gonna hate her, and they're gonna play that game, and it's a total pedestrian plot, and it's if there's going to be an origin story for the Wicked Witch of the West, I would like for it to be slightly more interesting than she didn't have a good time in school and then she became best friends with this girl who became the Good Witch of the North. So she is a sorceress or something like that and likes everything. And okay, so here's the next problem, is that she is not likable in this thing. Like, we're supposed to be identifying with her because I'm going to get this gold. We're supposed to be identifying with her because she's that's the whole like pivot of the show, is like, hey, we like Elphaba because she is misunderstood and stuff. Right? But she's completely unlikable. Also, she has no character arc. Like, she decides that she wants to save the animals who they used to be able to talk, and now they can't talk because they're being suppressed, which was kind of a heavy-handed political bent, but, you know, whatever. We'll allow it. It's Broadway. But it's, you know...
The animals can't talk. But
well, the animals used to be able to talk in Oz, and it was apparently a glorious sight, just like Judge Doom's Freeways or something. And
there's nothing I like more than when a badger says hello.
Well, I mean, it's more like goats, but not badgers. Anywho, and you'd like this, by the way. They're talking goats in this thing.
Oh, sign me up. I'll play the goat.
And that's the only thing that she does. She doesn't really evolve as a character. The person who actually evolves as a character is ostensibly some sort of antagonist, is Glinda, who grows as a human being. She realizes that she's being a jerk face, and then decides to become friends, and then they actually do become friends out of a gesture of kindness that she makes. And, you know, she actually says, well, my friends think that this is stupid, but you know what? Screw my friends. I'm going to just be friends with this girl. Which is great. She has that, but we're not supposed to care about... I mean, we're supposed to care about Elphaba. We're supposed to identify with Elphaba because, you know, she is the wicked one, but she's not really the wicked one, and it's not effective. You know, it's like George Lucas wrote this movie, because everything that they say, and I'm stealing this from someone, everything they say is text. There is no subtext. They are saying exactly the thing that they think. They're like, OMG, being evil is evil, and that's all you need to know right now. Like, we are saying this because this is what the script has told me to say. There is nothing behind my scenes. Like, she has a climactic scene in the end where she says, she basically says, I will never do anything good ever again. And she actually says those words, like, no good deed shall I do again. This is like freaking Hayden Christensen being like, I want to protect her from dying, so I will now turn evil so I may protect her. Like, this is like George Lucas wrote this shit. So it's like all we need next is for the bad guy to actually be named, like, I don't know, the wizard needs to be named, like, Wizard, I'm a bad guy. Us.
Well, so it's got that George Lucasian quality of terrible names that he thinks are actually clever, but they're very transparent.
Exactly.
Okay, like, so, well, okay, I don't know if you figured this out yet, but the author of The Wizard of Oz, L. Frank Baum,
Yeah.
Okay, spell out those initials.
L Frank Baum, like LFB.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, it's real. That's how he got.
Oh.
That's how he got the name.
Oh man, so it is like George Lucas wrote this goddamn play, and that's what it is. It's just going around like we are saying things because that is what happens. There is no there's a love story in here, I think, but it turns out to be like it's a love triangle story because goddamn it, it's written for teenagers and they all have love triangles because they all imagine that more people like them than they do when they're in high school. Oh, this is
Maybe they should make the Scarecrow a vampire. Then it'd be super hit with the kids.
Yeah, right? The Scarecrow should be a vampire. Oh, by the way, he doesn't have a brain. Guys. Oh. Anyway, so I'm surprised, by the way, Elphaba didn't become like a green-skinned stripper because that's kind of like what we're going at here. It's like daddy issues, that sort of thing.
Right.
And it's you know, stripperba, strip. Nope, can't think of something.
Sounds like you're saying she has strep throat.
No, she doesn't have strep throat. She's just a stripper. That's all. There's a difference. This thing has more mood swings than freaking Return of the Jedi, and that's saying something. Like they're going through this thing. She's getting jiggy with it, and then they're like, the evil woman number one is like, methinks me feels a change in the wind, says I, and she summons a tornado, and they're like, oh my gosh, the tornado is going after my sister. Perhaps these bad people are trying to do something bad to me. And she goes to it, and like, there's this big dramatic scene, and there's a rumble of thunder in the freaking Pantages Theater, which is gorgeous. It's like spectacular. It's beautiful. The Pantages Theater is like rocking in its boots because like rumbles of thunder happens, and then the lights come up, and like a bird twitters happily somewhere, and there's Glinda in her pretty dress like waving to somebody and says, just go ahead, follow that one road the whole time. And it's like, wait, we were just in this overly dramatic scene after this getting jiggy with it moment, and now you guys are just gonna stand around and like wink your faces off at me and say, hey, this is Wizard of Oz, bro. And that is where they have their character moment, because they are standing on stage and they are arguing at each other, and that is when they have their conflict or something like that. They don't, like, it doesn't come about naturally. They just stand there and argue. Her sister just died. You really think she's gonna be standing there in any position to argue with anyone, just like, hey, I'm here, I'm gonna be melon seeds. Oh, I could make watermelon? That's cool. I don't know. Can I do that? Can you make watermelon in this game? Like, her sister's dead. Under a tree, under a house, not a tree, this isn't Into the Woods, she's under a house somewhere, like, dead, like 3 feet away, and they're sitting there arguing about their feelings, and about, like, OMG, this boy actually went for you, it turns out. And it's like, well, what the hell with you? Like, that's what you're going for?
Oh, wait, are the Wicked Witch and the Good Witch going after the same dude?
Yes, the Wicked Witch and the Good Witch are going after the same dude. How do I break a spider web? They sing the graduation song where they're like, I've been changed for good because we knew each other and stuff, right? Which is a decent song. It's a little schmaltzy, but it's decent nonetheless. They sing that, and then like she dies in front of her best friend. Except, of course, she doesn't die because she faked her death, so she can pop out of the trapdoor, and then the Scarecrow guy's like, lol, we got him, babe. Let's go get jiggy with it again. I'm a Scarecrow. Rawr. And then that's the end.
That's a little confusing.
That's the end of the show.
Safe to say this isn't your favorite show of all time.
It is safe to say that this isn't my favorite show. And, well, I mean, it's really kind of awful. So, I just, you know, I don't really enjoy it. I like going to see live theater though, which was nice. I mean, it was Alyssa's birthday present, which was cool. I will go see live theater, even if it's not very good. It's still seeing live theater, and it's still, you know, it's seeing good production design. You know, the people's voices were good and everything like that, so I'm okay with that. Just the show sucks.
Your cat was giving you the stank eye, by the way.
You know, that's what happens. Anyway, that's Wicked. That's what I say about that.